All right, everybody, welcome back to another Workshop Wednesday. This time we've got Pond, Champ 3, 3v3. He gave me a little synopsis of what it is. KBM player and was Diamond 3 at the end of last season, playing only with friends. This is the first season I decided to solo queue my ranked games and managed to get up to Champ 3. I've only been Champ 3 for a few weeks now. So what you're trying to say is your friends are holding me back. Which is fine. My friends also hold me back when it comes to Rocket League. And I recommend... trying to, and this applies to everybody, just as a quick little TLDR, if you are in a ranked game and there's someone that you mesh with really, really well and things just click, ask them to be your friend or to party up. It doesn't hurt. It's how I met all of my connections that I have in Rocket League to this day. You're talking Husky and Covenal and Espion and like all the OGs of Rocket League. I met them from playing ranked ones and I was like, dang, you're good. You want to play twos together? And they're like, sure. And that's how I met all the like OG pros of Rocket League. So it does not hurt to ask people if they want to party up. If you guys have innate chemistry, maybe they're looking for someone that possibly is good too. Plus, if it doesn't work out, you just remove them and problem solved. So, anywho, this is Champ 3, 3v3 for Pond. Let's get to it. Also, dig the car. Red and Dracos. I like it. Maybe if we weren't going 2 miles an hour. Really good play. You know, you got demoed before someone out of... Yeah, that was... Your teammates doing the work. It worked out, man. Say you play this. Okay, you play it directly at the net. Alright, so... Curious on... So, the reason why this is good, because we're not just trying to help you, we're helping everybody here, right? You have two options with this ball. You can either let it roll towards you, you can play it up the wall, get more possession. The reason why you don't want to do that, and the reason why you want to play it the way that Pawn does, is because the faster you play it at the target, the faster it's a threatening attack, right? If he plays it up the wall, that gives time for all these guys to get boost or move in a better position to make a save, right? Doesn't want to do that, so... Going directly at the target, all the better. You could probably play this a little bit softer to maintain possession and try to go for something afterwards, but going for the double touch is fine too. And it looks like you're on the correct trajectory. He also doesn't boost further at it because if he does, he stays too close to the wall and the angle that's got to go down is way too hard to hit. So giving enough spacing, unfortunately, Gigabye, I've actually played against him before. It's pretty annoying to play against. He gets the ball instead. Also, I don't know what your boost is. Good soft touch. Second one a little bit sloppy. So this touch is great. Soft touch up. Wait for it. Wait for it. So by pausing there, you bring this guy in, which is great. This touch though, you want to be on the ground. Your initial touch is a little bit too hard, so make sure you barely tap A. Because it'll still cause the elevation of the ball to pop up, which is what you want to do. You're trying to set yourself up for a pass here. But by holding A little bit too long, you stay hovered. Other ways to recover that is by leaning forward with your car and boosting down. You want to be on the ground as quickly as possible. Because as soon as you see this guy come in, you want to aerial and play it over him. Which you try to do, but you're in the air too long, so you can't. Also, Badger, thank you for the host. Hopefully you had a great stream. Everybody who's coming over from Badger, appreciate you guys all being here. We are doing replay analysis of my subs. So if you guys like the content and you guys like what we're doing here, obviously hit a follow on the channel, support us, turn on the notifications. Otherwise, if you sub the channel, you can submit your own replays and we'll get to them eventually. We're super far behind. So glad to hear you had a really awesome stream, Badger. Appreciate you being here. Good pass across. Under it a little bit too much. So this is a awareness of field. You should know that you are to the right of midfield based upon this boost. Because if you're in midfield and there's no boost, that means you're right in the middle, right? But because you're so far across, that means that you have half of the goal on both sides to play this. So you can basically touch this in two different ways. This is just knowing where you are on the field. By touching this, first things first, you're directly parallel with it, while you're sideways. Like when you're about to hit this, you're so far underneath it that when you touch this, it's going to go up. You should know automatically. Your positioning should actually be a little bit more into the ball. So your trajectory looks like it was starting to be fine. If you would have came in at this a little bit more direct and then played it in this area, you probably would have just put a good shot on target. Going underneath this actually is what pops it up high. You had enough room to play that to the side. I understand what you're trying to do. You wanted to get it as center as possible, which makes sense because it's an open net. But by doing that, you actually get underneath it. If you try to go for your approach and go a little bit higher, the other thing you can do, and I don't know if it'll show it, on your initial takeoff plan, because this pass came across pretty quick. Space at like 50, 10, we'll do 25. Your quick aerial is too quick. Number one, you stop holding boost, right? You start to boost and then you stop. If you hold boost this entire way, you're going to be able to get to the ball faster and you can also get higher. The second thing is with your aerial. I'm going to try to draw this out so it makes sense. Before you take off for the aerial, hold down on your left analog stick. Press jump and hold it. I'm going to circle it because that means to hold, I guess. I don't know. But when you take your analog, hold down. I should probably do this with a controller in my hand. First time we're going to full screen in Workshop Wednesdays. Hold down, press and hold A. Okay? You want to do that before you even take off because then your car will naturally automatically lean back without you having to press another input. Okay? So hold down and press A. This is a little bit more difficult on KBM because your input is either all or nothing. You can't really do this easily, but if you hold down on keyboard, I mean, that's tough, man. There's not much you can do. But the general premises, and this is for everybody else, so you're going to press down and then you jump. The reason why you do that is so as soon as you take off, you automatically lean back. You don't have to worry about doing a feels backflip by tapping A really quick. The reason why you hold A is because you get more elevation in your jump. And then when your car is slightly back, when you want to go, it depends on where the ball is going. This trajectory of the ball is going at like a rate like this rather than like this. So once you kind of match that, so if the ball's like here, jump and hold A until your car's about here. So you're actually going a little bit higher than where the ball is. So you can place it down because you want to be above it when you hit it. And then let go of holding down on your analog and hit A again. That'll cause your second jump to go up and level off because you don't want to feels backflip in the air. To show you this, I'm going to pull it up in game just so it makes it easier because it's easier than explaining it. I'm a visual learner and I assume you guys are too. So let's go to training real quick. I've showed this in previous episodes as well. Easiest way to do a quick aerial. While moving, hold down, press A, let go, jump again. So if you're coming across from here, hold down, jump, let go again, press A again. If you do that with boost, it looks like this. But notice how there's that slight pause before me jumping. It's so you'd never mess up your quick aerial. But the ability to get in the air, extremely fast because of it. But you're going like this. You don't want to do that. You want to at least get some height first. It allows you to make consistent aerials, quick aerials for that matter, without messing up the whole feels backflip. Because the reason why you do it is because your brain is trying to put the input of down and jump at the same time. So when you do it again, you mess it up every time. But if you're already holding that, you're letting go rather than applying an input at the same time. So instead of having to do two things, you're just removing one. It's a little bit easier. Back into the replay. It's possible to do on keyboard. It's just really, really difficult. It's not as simple as controller. Structure view, that's what I want. There we go. So, where's that shot? I forget where we're at. Chat, do you remember the time? That's when you guys got a goal. This is your aerial. I got saved. Pop it over. It's like shortly after this. You rotate wide to go back post, which is good. Okay, here it is. So we'll start here because your rotation's fine. So you've already got one in the corner. You've already got one here. You decide to rotate back here. Takes a little bit. You basically move in to help on the play in case something bad happens. You shouldn't, though, because this guy's already here in that position. Rotate out wide, which you end up doing eventually. So you come through, you rotate towards, and then you're like, okay, I need to go out wide. That play starts to develop. Instead of playing the defensive route, and this is something that's good that I didn't point out. So instead of coming in and playing the defensive route and going back here and then supporting this, you go across field and go from being that third man back, or technically the second man in rotation. This is one, this is two. So he's going to hit the ball first. He's going to support it. You're a flex. You immediately transition to a second player to where you are now supporting the play and moving open for a pass. You're giving this guy an option. So you turn, you move forward for a pass. It comes across. If you do a better aerial here, we don't see the paint on screen. It's because I'm on the wrong. It's because I'm on the wrong screen. Let's try this again. So originally you were moving back. You were trying to support this play. As soon as you realize that it's not, you rotate out. The good thing, though, that instead of rotating back in and supporting it, instead of becoming a number 3 roll back here, you switch from 3 to 2 by moving up, and you're giving this option a play to develop to. Otherwise, they just got to dribble this downfield, which also isn't a bad idea. They decide to go for the quick counterattack, which is how they should play. Being unselfish allows you to attack faster. If he dribbles this down and goes for a shot, still a viable option, but it's not as good as passing it to a teammate who's open for a shot. But if you quick aerial this faster, you get a little bit more above it. This is a goal. Turn on it because you're supposed to. You miss that. Not a big deal. It happens. I don't ever usually recommend this. So you're in a position where you messed up, right? The way I look at this is you still have 40 boost and there's one possibly approaching you. And you have one back. If this ball is bouncing into trap, put it on your hood and dribble it this way. It's okay to dribble back towards your own net. Because if you push it this way, you have 40 boost. There's probably 100 boost in this corner that you can grab, and you can play back around on the wall. Hell, if you even get around it, if you push it this way and then you get over to this side and you hit it this way, you now set up this guy for a clear because he'll probably rotate through here and then hit it downfield. But by playing it mid, you're just setting it up for the team that's already approaching. It works out that he has a bad touch and gives it to your teammate, but you got to be careful with that. Your aerials are coming from the side rather than directly on. That's why they're weak. So, ball is moving this way. You're moving this way when you jump. So when you jump and you aerial, you're trying to use your boost to correct rather than being in a better position. Ways to fix that and do it faster. Either air roll so your boost is directly behind you in the way that you want to move, or slow your approach a little bit. I know you want to get there quick, but you have to either read it better or you have to take a slower approach. So you come in, you can see it in your boost trail. I hate when I do this. Where are you? Your boost trail is moving this way, but you're trying to go this way. So rather than your boost pushing you this way, it's pushing you this way, which allows you to hit it barely on this side and it puts it down rather than a powerful shot in target over here, right? You want to aim for here or here. You can either let that come across, hit it here and play it this way, which is probably what I would recommend doing. Actually, no, he's facing this way, so you want to play it like here. That's your best point of attack. So you want to hit it here and go here. But because you're boosting this way, you've got to find a way to catch it, and your car is already facing across. That ball is not going to come in contact. So make sure your approach is a little bit better. Otherwise, you can try to get inside of it more. The other way, if you want to make sure you are doing that, is by air rolling. If you air roll and you go upside down here, your boost is going to have a stronger pitch to push you across. It looks like you do keep your second jump too, though, which is good. Too many people would have quick aerialed that and messed it up. You're also cheated up too close to this. So he's dribbling. You should be able to see that. He either needs to pass this right away, but either way, you need to give him place to give you a pass. Where you are right now is perfect for this play to develop. As soon as you get in here, there's not much he can do. Still being patient midfield. It's fine. So if you guys don't recognize what he does here, ball gets played across, right? Immediately as he looks, no one in his field of view on his team. His teammate is rotating back. That is his ball immediately. That slight hesitation is to double check that, and then he moves in. It's a good play. Plays it back center. Nobody there. Not a big deal. You still set it up. Right idea. Same thing. Rotating back. Teammate here. Doesn't see anybody here. But you should know that there is a player somewhere in this area off camera. Notice how he doesn't commit right away? He waits. Takes patient. He allows the play to develop. Therefore, there's no double commits. There's nobody cutting off any corners. And by that extra second of waiting, just by not committing to the play, his player who is behind him is technically the second in rotation. They're both technically that same role at that point, based on who's closer and based on where the ball goes. Allows that player to then make a decision. And as soon as that player makes a decision and goes for the challenge, that now tells him, okay, I know exactly that I'm supposed to support the player that just went in. And then he's allowed to boost through. So the decision making is perfect. Challenge was a little aggressive, but it still convinces. Even though the challenge is rushed, the benefit of making a challenge, even if you don't connect with the ball, is it forces somebody on the other team to make a play, which then allows the people behind you to make a decision. That's all you're trying to do as the first man up or the first one making the challenge. You're trying to force the other team to get rid of possession in some way or force that possession to change. And even though he doesn't come in connection with the ball or doesn't make a good challenge on it, the people behind him now have a clear-cut option on what to do. So still, good decision. Decision-making stuff so far has been great from Pont. He's doing the right things. Go on backboard. Decides not to because it falls short. It hits ceiling. It's fine. This one's a little weird. So this one comes with time. This one's kind of difficult on what the ideal scenario is. This is, especially in solo queue, a gut call. If you have trust in your teammates, I agree with what Pond did. If I usually don't trust my teammates in solo queue because usually it's a bad thing, but I play more defensive naturally just because I think it's the smarter play. I think defense is never a bad thing to go to. It's always okay to put another person next in rotation in the box. I don't think that's ever a bad thing because that just means you have one more person to make a save on target if they get a shot, right? But if you put yourself on an offensive role, if someone messes up, there's nobody there to recover. It's a goal. So usually I lean towards the defensive side. What he does here is even though the ball is not in their possession, the only thing this guy can do is either A, play it back towards his team or play it infield for a pass. There's already two defenders here in net on his team, right? So what he decides to do is he starts to move slowly downfield towards midfield to get open for a pass to relieve some of that pressure because a two-man pass play is a great way to do it. He can't go on the wall because he'll get bumped by this guy most likely, so by staying on the ground, that's fine. Okay. Still playing, still playing, still playing. So at this point, he should either A, already rotated back or moved upfield for a pass. He's going for a pass. Right? Two players in net still. No issues there. Still moving down for a pass. Needs to watch out for Venture. Make sure he doesn't get demoed. Gidek messes that up, but he's got one more coming in for a challenge. As soon as he sees the challenge, he turns inside. Right? Partially it's because he's trying to get boost. I think it was just taken, so you can't. But you turn inside, and the reason why is because player one didn't get the ball, got beat up by this player, so now it's a one-on-one with this guy. And this guy, technically, he might be able to come in and make a last-ditch save. because of that information and knowing that they are actually in a better offensive opportunity, you need to rotate back and help out. That changes if this guy makes a good connection or this guy makes a good connection on the ball. But the fact that you're in a position to either A, go back and help on defense, because one of these guys should stop the initial attack, but then you can also move upfield if you need a pass. Right now, you're in a good spot. I probably would have moved back defensively more just because I don't trust teammates that I have in solo queue. So he's starting to move back. See how it plays out. You guys get it clear. Doesn't work out. You still go back to defense. Even if his teammate doesn't get a save there, he's still in a position to follow up, as well as get an aerial, everything else. So, easily done, well done. Good tap over the top. You need to back off, let your teammates get it, because you have no boost. They end up getting a goal. That bump there was actually a big deal. So the difficulty with this flick is kind of a happenstance. There was a guy challenging him, so he flicks over the first one, but it ends up setting up Gigabye really, really well. Not much you can do about that. Your job as the first player is to get past one defender. He did that. This is now his team's job because they got bought in a little bit extra time to make a save. Corner boost is fine. That's just unfortunate. With having no boost and none of those boost pads are there as well, there's not much you can do. Your teammate has to make that save. Jump into that. You just saw him jump. You know by his namesake, he is literally right behind that ball. You need to jump into that and put power on it. The higher you are, the more that's going to bounce back and forth and push out. The other option is if you come at this angle, it might pinch out and back towards your teammate. If you attack this angle, it's going to completely kill it. Because his back end is higher up. You can see his boost pattern here. So make sure you jump into this, otherwise it's just going to roll up. Save. You back off. You recognize that's not your ball. It's good. Flip off the ground. You don't use it. You use it on recovery. Something if you want to learn to get down faster on these. Here. Rather than waiting. So on this, rather than waiting for you to land and using a wave dash, it doesn't really help you in any way. As soon as you land, jump twice. That'll propel you down faster. Okay, 207. Hey Gary, how you doing, buddy? If you get bumped up into the wall and you recover, instead of waiting for a wave dash, because you're just floating this whole time and then you wave dash off, if you reset off the ceiling, right? Jump off. You'll get down significantly faster. The other option is you did have some boost left over. If you're going to go down like that, boost down and then wave dash. Doing neither just keeps you in the air way too long, right? So either use that jump to get down a little bit quicker or use the boost you have to get down faster, which then allows you to get more boost faster as well. It's an even trade. Doing neither just leaves you in the air for too long. So here you have 19 boost. So you have 19 boost. You need to make sure you do that by jumping down as quickly as possible. Are you doing D&D on this channel? No. Today's D&D session will be offline because we're just trying to do like a testing phase. But every Wednesday it'll be on a different one. And I'll host it from this channel, so you'll be fine. You'll be able to find it. Just pay attention to my social media channels. You can either find the description of the YouTube link for the video, or if you do !point social and Twitch chat, it'll pull up all my social media links. But Twitter's the best way to find out what I'm doing and when. So, 19 boost here. You could easily boost down. We're talking nearly missing out on 12 boost. Or 7 boost. 7 boost for the ability to get down and recover faster, get in a better position. Outweighs any time. Stand up field for a pass. You don't receive it, so you back off. So on these, you're playing a little bit passive, which is okay. The benefit of playing passive on this and not committing to anything allows for mistakes to develop. But at the same time, if you guys want to dedicate to committing to an offense, you need to play these a little bit quicker. I base that upon your first teammate. So Cyanite is up. He rotates out. So he's behind you, headed back towards the other mid boost. I assume where he's collecting 12 boost pads and cutting back in. For me, based upon what I've seen out of your team, I would attack this right away. I would come in and sweep in and try to hit this. Don't hit it here, because if you hit it here, it's going to go to the midfield. Hit it somewhere in this wall so it centers and tugs more closely to their net. So try to hit it anywhere, like if this is an imaginary line. This plays mid. This plays center. Your team, their net. This plays center. But their team, their net. The reason why I say their team, their net, if you play this off the backboard and there's somebody in defense and it plays off their wall, they, if they're in net and in a good position, can come out and make a challenge. If you play this and your team is attacking this way, that means that your team is most likely going to be lined up in this area, this area, this area, which means that you guys can technically get the ball first. This plays it into mid, which centers it and allows them to clear the ball. So ideally you want to hit it from this side over, anywhere in this area, right? Because it's going to play it back midfield and allow the people that are lined up over here to make a play. And we already knew that your teammate just rotated out this way and should turn around and be roughly in this area. But don't be afraid to challenge that. So far, your teammate's been doing pretty well. But if you guys want to maintain possession and make sure it doesn't go downfield like this, don't be afraid to be a little bit aggressive on that. Just make sure when you get a touch on it, you're playing it the right way. That's a monster flick. It's a good job not committing to that. Otherwise, you've been put out of position on your challenge. I will say the one thing that your team has is very minimal mistakes on what you guys are deciding to do. So even on this whole play, flicks it across, both you and your teammate are out of position. You immediately go back and go to turn. Instead of going up for this and challenging this, if you want to be even better about it, just rotate all the way out. Give them the possession, but get in a position to make a challenge. So you two are out of position here, and you're rotating back. By half rotating, you have to find a way to challenge that before they can already, with momentum and the ball close to them, make a challenge. It's probably not going to happen. If you just enable them to bring it downfield and you guys go all the way back to net, you now have 3 players all ready to a challenge, an attack, or a shot if it comes in. So it doesn't matter. It's okay with giving up possession as long as you put yourself in a position to make the save afterwards. You just have to make sure you make that save or you make that challenge or the next person up goes for it. You just can't get beat on a quick counterattack. This counterattack is not fast by any means, so you should be able to get back and recover just in time. Like if you would have done this right away, you just put yourself in an even stronger defensive position to make a play downfield or be open for a pass when the play develops. It's a good shot, far post. Way to be there for the recovery too. Or the rebound in that case. Cheat up is a little too hesitant. They had 3 people go up on this kickoff. That's not on you. All 3 of them went for this kickoff. It's really weird. I don't blame you for losing that. Good turn on this too. Really smart decision on this. Cheat up comes out. Doesn't win it. He's already upfield. That ball pinches. This guy is going to probably jump off and possibly go for an aerial. At the worst, pull a Devo or something stupid. Don't recommend it. But you realize that this space is all yours. This guy's rotating back. There's probably one on backboard. You can either rotate out and play it safe. But the way you make this decision is actually really good. Look how high that ball is going. That ball is clearly going to hit ceiling and land sooner than backboard, which actually means that someone needs to get there as quickly as possible because this guy can't recover. So you turn on it and you go for it and put a good shot over. That's like a split-second decision to make. Leads to a goal. Very decisive. The reason, and I guess I should explain that thoroughly, the reason why I'm okay with you doing that is because you are technically still the second man in that play, right? If we're talking purely positioning, and if we want to break down this play more in detail. Okay. Let's change the camera for this. Okay. So we're looking at this purely positionally, right? Player 1 initiates the attack. He pinches it across and makes a play. Player 2 either A, moves back in if he's able to, or rotates out and becomes player number 3. Okay. Player 3 is a flex pick, as I refer to it. Okay. And their job is to either A, support the play, or move into a position to be open for a pass. He's already rotating back. This is all open field. So if we remove all this, this field is all open for you, right? So as the play continues, again, sweeps around. He's there to support you. You can go up and make the play. It is his job to make that decision. His job is to be passive and read the situation based upon what he needs to do. That is not your fault. That's why this play works. But, like, look how passive this guy is. That is a good third man right there. One who's willing to take wide rotations. Like, this is his path, this trail here. He's not committing anything difficult. He's sitting right about the midfield. He can go back if he needs to on offense or on defense. He needs to move up if he needs to follow this up. Either way, everything is covered. The guy who originally played can rotate back. He now becomes the third guy. You're now still that second area. He can follow up. You're technically one now. Like, everything will fall into place. I really want to get Rocket League for my birthday. I need you to keep doing what you're doing because I'm paying attention. Sounds good, Sniper. I don't think we're going to change doing this anytime soon. It's been way too helpful for people. Also, appreciate you guys all being here in chat. It's all organic viewership. You guys are all getting stuff out of it. The fact that literally no one is pretty much typing means that you guys are all pretty much zoned in on what's being taught, which I really appreciate. The fact that you guys hold what I say value. There was also somebody in chat earlier that's like, I went from Champ 1 to Champ 3 just by watching your replays. That means a lot to me. So I'm glad you guys are getting stuff out of this. I'm glad it's helping you guys. It's the reason why we do it. Swift, hope you're good, man. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all the new follows as well, you guys. Wow, you actually got a touch on that. Double. Don't have the boost for it. Still draws somebody up. So this play's a little bit weird, right? So you come across, you get boost, you go back in a net, you cover far post, you're fine here. You're sitting there waiting for the play. You should see this guy coming across. You could probably just jump and dodge it. You actually turn in because you want to move downfield. You move down because you want to trap that. That's also a good play. So his intention is actually to go underneath that, trap the ball, and then bring it up and down the wall over here and go for an air dribble. So that plays fine. I like the possession choice, but it gets beat in the air. You're no longer the first man in rotation. You're number 2. You're waiting for this guy to make a touch. He plays at midfield. 37 boost. That ball is already on its way up. So this is kind of a weird one, right? When you're approaching this ball, if you were there upon the ball going up, you could probably get more pop or an elevation on it, which would make you a little bit easier to go for a double touch. But because you're super far away, and you only have 37 boost, you hit it while it's already kind of plateauing in its height, right? Because of that, your height itself is tough to control, and you clearly don't have enough boost to get high enough to make that save. So my recommendation, and things that you can do, is go for the setup choice. So you pop it up. You know what I recommend doing? You can't get that double touch. This takes a lot of recognition, a lot of playtime to understand. Use that boost to boost back down. Go for a demo. Use that backboard as a pass. Remove the threat. Leave it open for your team who's going to come in, because clearly your team has been playing pretty well. Boost down. Go take out the defender. Go for the bump on the defender. Then allow this shot to come in. Or just rotate out. Stays on the backboard. Good. Covers the high threat. So this is good. Ball gets played across. General rule of thumb is if the ball is above the backboard, going on the backboard is better than staying on the ground. That's just a general rule of thumb. It's not always the case, because if there's a guy over here, he could easily redirect that back down. But this guy's already got that angle covered. It's the other thing, too, is you've already got a guy near post. Go above him. Cover both angles of attack. So you can cover down, he can cover up. Right? So you let this play out. You approach it slowly. You stay on the backboard. You clear it downfield. It's fine. Teammate brings it in. Probably another goal. Or at least a shot attempt. Doesn't get it. You back off because you can't win that. Any challenge at this point is enough to buy time. And that's game. Well done. So, Pond, I really don't have much for you, man. I really don't. So, number 1, your positioning, man. I can tell you you're deserving of Champ 3, without a doubt. Positioning-wise, you're fine. You know exactly when to go for things. You know exactly where to be. Your patience on when to challenge and when not to challenge. You're very good on your rotations, which is enough to get you to Grand Champ. The only things I recommend, don't be afraid to play a little bit faster. Make your decisions a little bit quicker, especially when your teammates are playing as smart and as well as they are. There's no overlapping. I didn't see any double commits. Nobody's really bumping into each other. That's a rarity in solo queues, so that's good. When your teammates are playing like that, don't be afraid to be more aggressive. There's nothing wrong with that. That's something too that can get better is if you are seeing good chemistry with your teammates. There is a content creator by the name of Sky Williams in League of Legends who implemented a method called DST, or dick sucking technique. And if you really want to get on your team's good side, further exemplify that. Anytime it makes a good shot, spam the hell out of a nice shot. Makes a great pass, you say great pass. Makes a crazy save, you better hit him with that what a save. And that actually brings everybody to this next level of confidence, and everybody's gelling really well, and therefore people play better. The other thing you can do is once that kind of develops, you can type to your team being on PC and say, hey, do you mind if I play a little bit more aggressive? Do you mind if I challenge those? And ask them. Don't say you're going to do it. Ask them if it is okay. You're asking for permission, which makes them think like they're making the decision. It's a mental thing. It's a sales thing as well. But it's basically making them think they're making the decision, even though you're the one who's going to be doing it. Okay? It only exemplifies and amplifies what you guys are trying to create and what you guys are trying to do, which will then allow you to be even more successful. It allows you to play faster, because I can tell you right now, against Grand Champs, you guys will get overran. You guys are playing really slow in comparison to that next tier up. and will overwhelm you quite a bit. But for Champ 3, that's really clean gameplay. Just take what you're doing, but do it faster. It's the only recommendation I have for you, and that'll come in time. But for a couple weeks in Champ 3, definitely well deserved. Really good play from Pond. Champ 3, 3v3. Really well done. I can see why you got there.